What up and welcome back to Boring Reviews. Jodi here, and today I'm literally sitting in our flat in Edinburgh, Scotland, totally recording this for you. So Nick is doing a video of the castles and I am doing a video on the cities, and this video today is about our visit to Scotland. Now, I'm not a video maker. I don't do any of the editing. I don't do anything. I just show up and react to whatever Nick has planned. So bear with me, as this is going to be very amateurish. Actually probably even worse, but just go with me and give me some grace as I take you through Scotland, which, for the record, I totally want to move to now. Stonehaven's like my one place, Inverness would be my second, but we only went to 3 places, so lots more to see. I know Scotland's a beautiful country and I can't wait to go back, but this is what we did the week we were there. All right, Nick, say hi.
Hey, here we are. We are on our way, just checking our bags, walking towards the terminal.
Woo!
On our way to the UK. All right, Joey, the dream vacation is on its way. How do you feel?
Excited and nervous and freaking out.
Excited, nervous, and freaking out.
Yes.
How's that different from any other day?
Nope, it's not. All right, I'm going to take you on a very sped up version of us getting on our plane. There's Nick being a goofball. All right, we are getting on our plane, ready to go to London. Super excited. I wanted to show you our takeoff so I can show you how truly brown, tan, and beige our town is. When I say it's 10 shades of beige, I'm not lying. Look at all that desert right there. Yep, dirt, 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 some more desert. So when we want to get away and go somewhere green, we're not lying. We really want to go somewhere green. So once we got on the plane, I realized you could track where you were going. So here is just a little countdown of our flight. It was really cool to watch the progress of the little airplane moving across the map as we flew. But the most exciting part was when there was only 3 minutes until landing. We had to record landing in England and seeing all that beautiful green. It was absolutely picturesque and we were in heaven. And we were so excited to get off and get our bags until we realized our flight to Scotland was delayed. So we hung out at the airport for longer than we expected before we were able to board and take off from London to Inverness. But again, takeoff was way cooler this time because of all the green and the cloud coverage. There's so much clouds in England, not what we see back home, but it was beautiful. Flying into Scotland was absolutely amazing, seeing the water and the greenery. Even some rain welcomed us in. But what surprised us the most was how small the airport was in Inverness. It was tiny and adorable, but absolutely perfect. Of course, landing late means that travel plans were changed, so we stood in line with all of these people to try to get a taxi, but the people in front of us shared a taxi with us. They were super, super awesome and amazing. The taxi driver was super informative, told us about a little restaurant to go eat at, but we enjoyed seeing some sights before we headed out to dinner. The places we really wanted to go to were closed by this time, but it was okay. We were still able to walk around Inverness and sightsee for a couple hours and enjoy a little bit. We definitely want to go back and really visit and investigate the town because it was absolutely gorgeous. The taxi driver told us about this adorable restaurant called the Waterfront in Inverness. It was amazing. It was well priced and the food was absolutely delicious and everybody there was super kind. Nick ended up having the duck right there, and I had their oh so popular fish and chips, and it was absolutely amazing. The next day we headed to Stonehaven. We took the train to Aberdeen first, and it was such a beautiful trip to Aberdeen. All the greenery and the cute little creeks and lakes, and then of course we had to enjoy the train station at Aberdeen there just for a few minutes before we hopped on our train to Stonehaven. Again, the trip was absolutely gorgeous. The view of the coastline was all the way down to Stonehaven. It was absolutely stunning. Of course, the window reflected me and my cell phone along with the dirty bits on the train window, but hopefully you still get it. That's one of our favorites right there. Seeing the cliffs and then all the little in-between creeks. I don't really know what you call those. But once we arrived in Stonehaven, we had to take a photo before heading off to the most adorable bed and breakfast, our Ardouthie house. It was incredible. The hosts were extremely friendly. The place was beautiful and the food was fantastic. I strongly suggest staying at the Ardouthie House if you go to Stonehaven. Right after dropping off our bags, I made Nick go for a very long walk with me. We went straight to the Dunatar Castle, and it was amazing. If you want to check out the castle and what it looked like, what we thought about it, our whole experience, click on the link below or check out the other video we have of it where Nick goes full in depth of everything about the castle. But for now, I'm just going to show you the beautiful, again, greenery and wildflowers because it was absolutely amazing. I mean, the views on the way to the castle were breathtaking. We had to stop constantly and just look and enjoy things that we have not seen ever. At one point, the wind kicked up like crazy. It could blow you over. The rain came down, but it was a light mist. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't really misty, but it was fine. We were good. We just really appreciated the weather and all the beautiful things that Stonehaven had to offer. The beaches looked incredible, just very natural and untouched against the cliffs. But the most exciting part was when we could see that castle in the distance. But the castle just kept getting closer and we were just so excited to see it. You have to walk down 180 steps and walk back up them when you're done, just FYI. But it was incredible. Right next to the castle was this little walk down to the beach, which naturally we had to go to. We walked down to the beach. We went and touched the water. Everybody says the water in Scotland is freezing. But you know what? It wasn't much different than the water in California because that water's freezing too. Except for this water, you could see right through it. It was absolutely gorgeous. We made our way back and saw a beautiful memorial to the war. And then we went to Stonehaven Beach where this snake freaked me out. Guess what? Not a snake. Though I totally jumped and ran as if that would save me. The next morning, Nick had a full-on Scottish breakfast at the Ardouthie House. I had some delicious porridge, and we left Stonehaven. We met a bunch of friendly people on the train and just had a really nice time on our way to Edinburgh. In Edinburgh, we dropped our stuff off at our flat and then just traveled around the city. It kind of felt like a lot, to be honest. Our flat was right on Royal Mile, and although it's absolutely beautiful, it felt a lot like New York City. Lots of people, lots of things going on. It's a bit overwhelming, but beautiful nonetheless. We are just like a minute or two away from St. Giles Cathedral, which is absolutely beautiful. We did go inside, and I'll take you on a little tour in a little bit, but we first just walked around town, took a lot of videos of the old architecture, things that we do not see in the United States. I mean, these buildings are absolutely amazing and stunning. We just couldn't get enough of them. We did pass right by the traditional red telephone booth, no pictures there. We just really enjoyed just all the architecture. Again, it's absolutely lovely. And in our flat, we could hear the clock chime at every hour, so that was nice. We stumbled across Edinburgh Castle and decided let's book tickets and go in. If you want to check out our tour of Edinburgh Castle, check out Nick's video. He went in depth again on this castle. It's 2 out of the 4 we're going to see on this trip. 2 in Scotland, 2 in England. But it was really, really cool and neat to be inside this one. That's obviously complete or way more complete than the previous castle we saw in Stonehaven. Next, we went to the Writers' Museum, and I was super excited about this, but just for anybody going there, it's only about 2 writers. So honestly, I was pretty disappointed, but it was cool to visit and just see the house and how it laid out as an official quote-unquote mansion. We visited Victoria Street, which was beautiful with the different colored shops, went into a few shops. It was super, super fun. Seeing like the museum context. And then we decided to hit up the church, the St. Giles Cathedral, to see everything that had to offer. Wow, what a stunning piece of beauty, of art. Like, it is incredible. St. Giles Cathedral was built in 1124 and predates most of Old Town Edinburgh. And what I didn't realize is although we call it a cathedral and it is a principal place of worship in Edinburgh, it's actually not technically a cathedral because it doesn't have a bishop. So that was super interesting, but it is completely free to view the cathedral. It's absolutely breathtaking. The windows and the stained glass are gorgeous. There's all these beautiful descriptions of different things about the cathedral, and it really is quite the experience. It's overwhelming in a good way with all the beautiful architecture and stained glass and just all the time it must have taken to put into this building. I briefly talked about the museum context earlier, but I just wanted to show you a little bit. It's basically a Harry Potter shop. It's like a museum inside because it's just full of all these things about Harry Potter, and it really was fun to just visit. Mulberry House was super cute if you want to look at the tartans. But of course, we had to visit Makar's Gourmet Mash Bar. Believe it or not, this is not alcohol, though I put it on Instagram, and apparently that's what people think it is. But I booked Makar's because I saw their haggis on Instagram, and it looked really, really yummy. So Nick first attempted to have some haggis, and let's see his thoughts. Mind you, he just woke up from a nap, so he was a little groggy, but he liked it. He said that it tasted a lot like the goulash his mom makes. So then I had to try some, and, well, I actually really, really liked it. We ended up almost finishing the haggis. But then Nick had some chicken, and I had some beef shoulder, and it was amazing. It just fell apart and melted into your mouth. Personally, after this, I was stuffed, but Nick looked at me and said, "Do you want some dessert?" And so we had to finish it off with some ice cream. On the last night of our stay, we went to Topping and Company Booksellers, and this bookstore was honestly like my dream home. It was 2 floors of just rooms filled with books like this. I would have recorded the entire place, but there were a lot of people there, and that would have been a little bit creepy, recording people. But my favorite part was honestly upstairs. The crown molding on top of each room upstairs was beautiful, and there were just so many rooms full of books and books. Fiction, young adult, philosophy, biographies, nonfiction. I mean, even crafts and artwork and sewing. Like, it was just a dream come true. I would have bought a bunch of books, but I knew we'd have to take them home, so I walked out with only 2 things. I was very proud of myself. Nick sat in a chair after looking around a little bit and waited for me because I can be in stores like this for quite a while. The last thing I want to talk about is the Prince's Botanical Gardens. They were absolutely beautiful. It was so green. You get a little snippet of the castle on the hill there as you're walking around. And it's just this wonderful park of trees and green grass on one side, and Nick walking in front of my video, what the freaking heck, Nick? And then a bunch of flowers on the other side. These flowers were gorgeous. The colors were vibrant and pretty, and just not something we really get to see in the desert too often because they just can't survive the intense heat we have. This was Nick literally telling me to come on, Jodi. Because for me, this is something that I love, and for him, he's like, all right, where is the freaking cricket game that I couldn't get tickets to? But we did enjoy walking around, and I just was like looking right, left at all the beautiful nature that was there. Overall, we had an amazing trip to Scotland. Though rainy at times, the weather was really nice, and the rain really wasn't bad. It was really nice. It was just a different feel and culture, and we truly, truly enjoyed it. If I could, I'd stay and not come home. With that being said, I hope you can check out our videos about England and France when they come up, and until next time, goodbye.